All right, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle, and I am so freaking happy that we finally have what I think is as close as we're going to get to an official Nintendo Direct with the Super Mario Bros. 35th Anniversary Nintendo Direct that they dropped today. Whew, that was what we needed. I still think I would have preferred, though, a full Nintendo Direct talking about a few other games that are coming out later in 2021. I would have been fine with that. A little bit of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And I still also think that we need maybe one more big game to push us and bring us into 2021. Like, we have two big new announcements for September and October, but I still feel we need one more for November. I'm still hoping that we'll get another mini Nintendo Direct or something specifically for that title, perhaps. But I'm still very happy with what we got. And we'll get into the positives and the negatives. Mostly positives, but there's a few shady things, and I was like, eh. So, okay, let's get into this. So, they started it off with Game & Watch. They're going to have a new Game & Watch coming out on November 13th, where you'll be able to play Super Mario Bros. 1 and the Lost Levels that were originally on the NES in Japan, I think, for the Lost Levels. That's kind of cool. Definitely much more for collectors, not necessarily for myself, but that I think that is a cool thing. And for the most part, everything that they did in this Direct was a really good way to celebrate Super Mario. So I really liked this Direct when you're celebrating a character as big as Mario, who would be the biggest mascot for Nintendo. Zelda would be definitely second, but Mario is Nintendo. So very happy with that. Then they showed off Super Mario 3D World. From the Wii U coming to the Switch, but we're also getting Bowser's Fury, some additional levels, it looks like, and I'm pretty sure that I read that it is going to be online multiplayer. If I read that correctly, that's insane. That is worth the price of admission alone. Like, it is a really fun game. Definitely fun if you're playing multiplayer. Like, if you're just playing single player, it's not exactly. It's okay, but not amazing. When you add the multiplayer aspect, especially when you have the full 4 players, it's just mayhem, and I love it. That is how these games should be made. If you're not going to be making a great single-player game, I think that we should have, like, a great single-player game, and then, like, a year or two, having, like, a dumbed-down version to a degree, because Super Mario 3D World is not nearly as close to being on the same level as Galaxy or Odyssey or 64 or Sunshine. It's not like that. But it's, in terms of multiplayer, they really hit that out of the park, and if I can play that online, I'm so in for that. That's coming out February 12th, 2021, so very excited about that. I will definitely be double dipping on that one. Next up is Super Mario Bros. 35, which comes out October 1st, and here's a negative, which starts into the negatives, is that it is only going to be playable until March 31st, and then after 2021. So 5 months we're going to get this game. And I don't know why they're limiting it. That makes no sense to me. This is kind of like the Tetris game that they have for their online service, and that you can only get this game apparently by having an online service with Nintendo, where you're basically playing the game, the Super Mario game, but you're playing against 35 other people or 34 other people, and when you kill people, when you kill enemies, you can throw them over to other people's boards. And it's exactly like the Tetris 99, I think it's what it's called, where you can say you can go after the attackers or the people that are close to dying. So that's a really cool. I like this idea. I love this idea, actually. And because that if it's only going to be online, I'm okay with this. I just don't like that it ends March 31st. Why would you only give us 5 months of this game? And they did that again to something else that we'll get into in a second. Next up, they had a big one here, and that is Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which comes out October 16th. So we're getting a new Mario Kart, kind of, but it comes with 2 remote controls, like a Mario, or at least, it looks like one at least, maybe 2, because they did have a Luigi one as well, where there's a webcam and different places for you to have these poles, and you can kind of create a circuit in your house. And then you're going to be playing in your house, like the webcam is going to show you where your character is, and it's going to also create other AIs, I'm assuming, where you're going to be playing Mario Kart in your house, and they're going to impose, like, it's AR, it's all through AR, and it's crazy. That's the cool. Like they've been toying around with this kind of stuff with the 3DS, and now this is exactly what I think that was the right place to go. It looks like so much fun. I think if I was a kid, I would be absolutely like this would just be like mind dropping to me, like jaw dropping, not mind dropping. I guess that works too. But oh man, that looks incredible. Really, really fun. I think I will be picking this up, but I think it is rather expensive. I don't have a pre-order for anything except for the last thing that we'll get into in a second. Then the second last thing that they had was Super Mario Bros. All-Stars, which was the, I guess, remakes that they had of the original Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3 and the Lost Levels from the NES onto the Super Nintendo. We're getting that all on the Super Nintendo Online. So if you have Nintendo Online, you'll be able to play these games as of today, which is really cool. And then last but not least, the thing that we've all been waiting for is the ports of Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy all coming to the Nintendo Switch in Super Mario 3D All-Stars, I believe is what it's called. And we're getting it in 2 weeks. September 18th. We're getting all these 3 games in one package for regular retail price of one game. I know that these are all old games. They are all ports. There's nothing really specifically fancy about them. Like it's not like a remake or anything like that. It's just ports of these games. They are in HD, obviously. We're going to probably get a widescreen with the Super Mario 64. Although I think that might have... There was a few games on the 64 that I remember having widescreen options for. And I feel like Super Mario 64 might have been one of them. But I just didn't have a widescreen at the time. I'd have to try to test that out. And I don't feel like doing that right now. But yeah. I just love the idea of being able to play these games on handheld. This is going to be so much fun. Like, the only other thing that I think that they're missing is Super Mario Galaxy 2. I hope that we still get that at some point in time. I hope that they don't charge like for in Canada like $80 or in the States $60 just for that one game. I mean, I probably would double dip for it, but yeah, I'm super stoked for this. But once again, they're only going to have a limited run of the physical copy. Why are you doing that? Why? I guess they did that with when they remade the All-Stars for the Nintendo Wii. I think that they made that compilation limited run as well, which is really shady of them. Why are they doing that? So that then I'm thinking that they're hoping that it drives up the digital sales because they'll make more money from that. But then I'm pretty sure that also by March 31st, once again, they're going to stop even letting people buy it digitally. Why are we only getting these games for 5 to 6 months? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it just makes you... the only thing that I can think of is to try to get as many people as they can to get a Nintendo Switch now so that they can buy these games and have them. So, and this is a kind of potentially their way of trying to compete with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series Next. Or Series X. I don't even know what it's called anymore. I hate Xbox's name. But yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of is to try to make people say, well, I'll get the Series X later or the PS5 later, but right now I still need a Switch because I can only get these games if I get that now, or I'm going to be paying ludicrous prices for the third party on the third party market for like a physical copy of that game by that point. Once they're sold out, they're going to be so freaking expensive. It's nuts. I have my pre-order for it through Amazon. I was kind of worried at the beginning because they weren't getting like an actual option for it. Best Buy was getting it and GameStop was getting it, but not Amazon. I'm like, I have Prime with them, and I really want to try to see if I can get this day one because that'd be freaking awesome. But yeah, really don't like that we're having to have like limited runs of these games, even digitally. I think that that's super shady. And I still would have wanted a little bit more for other games. But in terms of Super Mario, I'm very happy with this. Like, I think that the Super Mario Kart or the Mario Kart Live home edition or home circuit, that's freaking genius. That is so Nintendo. I really like that idea. I don't think it's going to be something that I would love as an adult playing it all the time. I'm not nearly going to play as much hours into that game as I did Mario Kart 8. Like, that's the game that I spent definitely the most time in terms of the Mario Kart games, and I don't see myself changing that with this one. But I think it'd be kind of like, this makes me want to go to my mother's and trying it over there, because she's gonna laugh like crazy, and her cart's gonna completely go off course all the time, because she has such a hard time going forward in these kinds of games. So that to me is gonna be a blast. But yeah, for the most part, very happy. Just a few things that are like leave a bad taste in your mouth, unfortunately. So I'm just so many emotions right now. So thank you all for watching. We almost lost my laptop. You've been bearded in before I destroy something. Beardage!